and Rick and Tony Fairchild. Rick Fairchild built this business as a young man from the Navy, no, from the Air Force. Rick, am I right, Air Force? Yes. Yes. So the reason why we're excited is this man is a legend. This man and his wife right now, even though they started their business in North Dakota. How many of you know North Dakota? If you're from Minnesota, that's our next door neighbor. So he's a Midwest man. Started from North Dakota, even though probably before that he came from the South. You know, military moves you around. But he built this business to a successful level and retired from his work in the Air Force. About now, how many years, Rick? 40 years. The man that's going to talk to you tonight have not had a boss for over 40 years. He does not know what a boss looks like. He does not know what it feels like to have a clock in, a clock out. He does not know to have what's called employee review. And the good thing about him, and the reason why I really, my wife and I and our leaders locally are excited about, sometimes people make an excuse, oh, this business because he built it in an area where there's a lot of this and a lot of that. He built it in Minot, North Dakota. I have driven to Minot 9 hours. I've seen 3 people between here and Minot. I'm not kidding you. He has blown the excuse away from everybody. And obviously, after they become financially free and they become wealthy, he did what all rich people do. He moved to Florida. You know? We thought about that, my wife and I, but we're not rich enough to move to Florida yet. Does that make sense? It's okay to think about it. So we have him here tonight. You are going to hear from him tonight if you're here for the first time. For those of us, we're waiting for every single thing that comes out of his mouth because that's wisdom. If you have not, if you are born within the last 40 years, raise your hand. So, that's wisdom. You hear it from a gentleman that was free long before your mom and dad get together. That's about, you don't get that a lot. I'm not kidding you. That's powerful. So, when I bring him up, please put your phones down. I'm going to bring him up right away. There's no 2-minute warning. If you have a phone, vibrate it. If you don't have a note paper stuff, just write it. Not only that, on top of successful business, he and Tony Bill, Rick is funny, is deep. He has words that, you know, that you'll hear the joke today and you hear some of us laugh. But Thursday night while you're in your house waiting to make a tea, you laugh. And people will say, what are you laughing at? It's just what you hear tonight. Because that's how deep his stuff is. And I'm looking forward. So help me welcome, with Minnesota, welcome, Rick Fairchild, all the way from Florida.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. That's very nice. I appreciate that. It's been a little while since I've been up here to Minnesota. So thank you, sir. That's for me right there. This is perfect. Just like I am. My only fault is my humility. Besides that, I'm perfect. Okay, that was an attempt at humor. So I'll give you other chances later on. Well, it's nice to be back in Minnesota. And thanks for the nice warm weather. I guess we're welcome, and phones are turned off, because if the phone rings, what happens is I reboot and I start all over again. So every time a phone rings, I just start all over again. So we'll be here for days. Okay, if you're a guest tonight, a couple of things here. Number one, relax. Okay, if you have any money with you, congratulations. Okay, most of you don't have any money with you, so you don't have any chance of spending any. But if you are a guest tonight, a couple of things here. Number one, I'm blind in one eye, and I'm deaf in one ear. So if you're talking to me and I'm ignoring you, come to the other door. Come over here. Hey, I'm talking to you. So if I look at you funny, it may be I'm looking at somebody else. And so just go, is he looking at me? I'm not sure. So, and what Ali said, or Yusuf, I call him Ali, but I guess we call him other things too. But what Ali said, I haven't had a boss for 39 years. except I've been married for 43 years. So I have had a boss for 43 years, okay? But I'm very happily married because my wife told me I was. And she said, if it changes, I'll let you know. I said, okay. So my wife and I have been happily married since she was 18, wow, and I was 19. So if you can add quickly, I'm 63, and she's younger. So, we got married in basic training. We both were high school sweethearts. We grew up in North Carolina, which is down south. That's where this little twang is from. But we grew up in North Carolina in the country. We're both rednecks, basically, so which is a compliment where I'm from. So, but we're country folk. Joined the Air Force after high school. Ended up in San Antonio, Texas, and actually got married in basic training, which is really weird because people don't normally get married in basic training, but we did, and that was 43 years ago. We only had 2 really bad arguments. The first one, I didn't see her for a couple of days, and the swelling went down. I could see again. So, bad joke. Okay, yeah, the swelling went down. I could see again. Okay, but the second argument, she was on her knees talking to me, but she was saying, "Come out from under that bed, you coward." So, so that was our 2 bad arguments. Okay, none of that's really true. It's just my way of loosening up and relaxing here. So, all right. Now, I do a little different program than what you may see next week, so I want you to agree with me now that you're going to come back next week. You're going to have a better speaker next week, okay? How many know that you cannot learn in 1 hour or 2 hours how to make $150,000, $250,000 per year? How many know you can't learn that in 2 hours? If you could, why would you go to school for 4 to 6 years to make half of that? Nobody would. How many know you can't go to school for 1 day and just say, okay, I think I deserve a degree? I've been here all day. So it's funny, people go to school for 4 years, and what people learn normally after 4 years of school is they learn they need 2 more years of school, because all you learn after 4 years is I need 2 more years. Is this true? And you also learn if you're kind of average, kind of normal, you learn you're about $100,000 in school loans. The average may be a little bit less than that, but I heard a young man yesterday who was actually bragging on national television about graduating with several different degrees from several Ivy League schools and being $500,000 in student loan debt. And he was bragging as if that's a reason I should listen to him. I'm thinking, that's 500,000 good reasons not to listen to you. So, I mean, who wants to listen to a guy that's $500,000 in debt in his early 30s or whatever? I mean, hello. So anyway, tonight we're going to talk a lot about business. We're going to talk a lot about you. Now, I do a little bit of a different presentation just because of my 40 years in business, my conservative Christian values, my political opinions. You know, most people say don't talk about religion or politics, and I say why not? Because that's what makes America exceptional. That we can actually talk about religion and politics, and we can agree to disagree. Hello? So, but anyway, tonight you're going to learn a lot about business. Hopefully you're going to learn a lot about yourself. How many know that your life is pretty much what you decide to make of it? Now, I grew up in the country. I grew up blaming people for my condition in life. And when I was a younger person, drinking a little beer, smoking a little dope, racing a little motorcycle, getting a little trouble, I did all that stuff as a kid, and I blamed other people for my condition. You know, when you blame other people, you actually feel better, but you don't get better. And so I learned that blaming others, I felt better, but I got worse. And then when I finally took responsibility, I felt worse, but I got better. There's a point in all of our lives, hopefully sooner than later, where you reach a tipping point and you just simply say, enough is enough. I'm not in life where I should be, where I could be. Thank God I'm not where I used to be, but there's a point where you just simply, we call it man up, and you just take responsibility. You say, you know, if my life's going to get better, it's probably going to have a lot to do with me. Now, there are people who go through their whole life in what I call a dependent mode, where they're dependent on the government, they're dependent on a family member, or dependent on somebody. And if you're dependent on anybody, for your life to get better, the person you're dependent on has to get better. For example, if you're dependent on the government, for your life to get better, the government has to get better. Now, I'm 1/4 as old as our country. I know it's hard to imagine. Add up the numbers. 1776, 1876, 1976, America's about 250 years old. Did you know that? I'm 60. So I'm 1/4 as old as America. So be nice to me, okay? So, yes. Sometimes people do ask me, they say, when are you going to retire? And I think, are they trying to tell me that I'm not adding any value, that I should have retired before this meeting? Is that what they're trying to say? So I say, well, I'm probably going to retire when I'm finished. When I can no longer add value or no longer hopefully inspire somebody. I think a good place to die would be with a microphone in your hands encouraging people. Not tonight, hopefully not tonight, but you know, but if it happens, I'll see y'all later. So, so that's the second best place I can think of to die. Microphone in your hand, encouraging people. The other place involves my wife. It's none of your business. Okay, so. Oh, did he say that? So yeah, I got Dane Bramage. So okay, but if you depend on the government to fix your problem, your number one problem is you actually think the government can fix your problem. They are your problem. They can't fix your problem. And if you think they can fix your problem, that's a big problem. Because they don't really know what your problem is. They know what a couple million people similar to you have a similar problem similar to yours, so they can fix similar problems, but they can't fix your problem. So a lot of people go through life dependent, and it's not a judgment, it's just an observation. Dependent people, for the most part, make up the lower class socioeconomically. They're the lower socioeconomic class. Now, as a Christian, I believe all people are equal in value. So it's not a judgment about the value as people, because as a Christian, one of my beliefs is that God made all of us in His image. So we all have equal value, but lower class dependent people normally are economically challenged. Then you have the middle class that are basically codependent, and they're codependent on themselves and on their job. So they get better. Their job has to also get better because it's a codependency. If the codependent person gets better, but the company he works for doesn't get better, then things don't improve. And so for the most part, the middle class make up a codependent where they're depending on themselves and a company and a job, an industry. If you're in the healthcare industry, for example, you could be doing fantastic, but if the industry gets muddled up by government regulations, which is what's happening, because a marketplace should determine what you buy and don't buy, not the government. Imagine the government saying everybody who goes into McDonald's has to order a Big Mac with all the fixings. And you go, I don't really want a Big Mac with all the fixings. But you have to buy that because that's what everybody has to buy. Well, it's just crazy. But why do we do that with insurance? Another topic. So, so the codependent are dependent on themselves and their job, and for their life to get better, they have to get better, and their company, industry, job has to get better. Okay? The independent, which make up the wealthy, the upper class, The independent depend on themselves. And they realize for my life to get better, I have to get better. My attitude has to improve. My people skills have to improve. If my life is going to get better, it's probably going to be because of me. Now, those are the people I wanted to listen to. I grew up listening to the dependent, the lower class. I grew up listening to the codependent, the middle class. I finally got a chance at meetings like this to meet some of the upper class. I had a chance to meet people who are actually independent business owners, independent thinkers, and I can tell you my life radically changed. Now, again, as a Christ follower, to God be the glory, but my life radically changed when I changed the people I associated with. If your best friends are not bringing out the best in you, you need better friends. Your best friends don't tolerate you at your worst. Those are your worst friends. Your best friends call you to a higher standard of thinking, living, giving. Your best friends bring out the best in you. Is this true? Yeah. Okay. So when I understood that, I said, yo, dog, I'm in trouble. I need some new friends. And I found me some new friends. So, okay, we're going to talk about a lot of stuff tonight, but basically we're going to talk about you, excuse me, about you becoming an independent business owner. You have to ask yourself, if you're going to become an independent business owner, what industry? Because the financial vehicle that you pick, maybe it's the IT industry. You know why people pick IT? Because of Nike. Nike said, just do IT. And everybody just did IT. So, yeah, Nike said, just do IT. There's a lot funnier than your response would indicate. So, one person, thank you, Megan, one person got it. Okay. Just came all the way from North Dakota just to hear that one joke. So, but your financial vehicle, whatever financial vehicle you pick, if you pick the IT industry, you pick real estate, you pick the professions, you pick sports, entertainment, whatever industry you pick, that is part of your success equation. Let's just say, for example, you pick a financial industry or financial vehicle, you pick something that's a 10. Let's just say, for example, you pick the IT industry. And most people would say the IT industry is probably a 10, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, it's probably a 10. So if you pick a financial vehicle, an occupation, profession, that's a 10, then you have to multiply that times your work ethic. If your work ethic is a 0, what's 10 times 0 in Minneapolis? Same as Florida, okay, 0. So if you have a great financial vehicle, but you have a lousy work ethic, 10 times 0 is 0. So the key would be to have a 10 work ethic, but also times your skill set. So your financial vehicle times your work ethic times your skill set. Now, if your skill set says 0, what's 10 times 10 times 0? 0. I see y'all memorize your 0 tables too. I've got mine memorized way up into the thousands. I'm like 5,414 times 0, bam, 0. So, but my point is, you can have a great opportunity, but if you don't have a great work ethic and a great skill set to match the opportunity, it doesn't really matter. Now, next week, Megan, somebody's going to tell you that they came to a meeting like this, that they understand what we do. Somebody's going to tell you that they already looked at the network marketing industry, which is what we're going to talk about tonight. They're going to tell you that they already tried Amway, they tried Herbalife, they tried Advocare, they tried some network marketing, and they're going to tell you that they tried such and such, and it didn't work for them. Therefore, it's not going to work for you. How many know that other people will put on you the limits they've already put on themselves? They'll tell you what you can't do based on what they haven't done. And if you accept those limits, then you deserve what you get. If other people tell you you can't do something because they didn't do something, and you believe that, then that's on you. If you in this country and other countries, but in this country, if you're born poor, that's not your fault. If you die poor, that's on you. You have to own that. In this country, if you die poor, that's on you. Now, look around the room, you'll see that there's a lot of different nationalities. There's a lot of immigrants in this room tonight. And immigrants seem to grasp the opportunity of entrepreneurship sometimes better than second, third generation, born and raised here. Because quite often the immigrant, especially if you came as first generation or your parents, if you're first or second generation, either you or your parents came here on purpose. You came here not just running away from something, but running to something. Most people spend their whole life running from what they don't like, but not running to what they do like. Because they don't take the time to figure out what do they really want. It's easy to know what you don't want. I've been happily married 43 years. I say to my wife, you want to go out for dinner? Oh, yeah, sure. Where do you want to go? It doesn't matter. Fantastic. Let's go to this place. Oh, I don't want to go there. I'm like, well, I thought it didn't matter. Well, it doesn't matter. I just don't want to go there. Oh, okay. So it does matter. No, it doesn't really matter. Okay. So let's go over here. No, we were just there yesterday. Okay. So she knows what she doesn't want. But where do you want to go? I don't care. Okay. We're going home. Well, there's nothing to eat at home. So, okay. So, but now, your financial vehicle times your work ethic times your skill set, that equals your lifestyle. Lifestyle is a combination of time and money. The challenge most of us have is we're only taught how to get money by giving up time for it. We're only taught basically to trade time to get money. So the combination of having time and money is like a foreign language. Now, there's a couple of books that we recommend to a lot of people, and I'll just simply say, if you've never read this book, and we're not selling books tonight, and I don't make anything from the books, I'm not the author of the book, but I'll just simply say, if you've never read this book, do yourself a huge favor and read the book. You can actually check it out at the library. It's free. I've already paid for it. Whatever is free to you is paid for by somebody else. It's free. It's at the library. Check it out. It's a self-help book, so they're not on backlog. If it's 50 Shades of Garbage, it'd be on a backlog. So it's on. Read the book. What he teaches you in the book is basically the 4 ways of making money as an employee or a small business owner, or as a business builder or an investor. And here it's basically the difference. This side is linear, which means limited, and it's also very active. You have to keep doing it, keep working. So as an employee or a small business owner, you have a linear income, which means limited, and also very much you have to keep active. As a business builder and investor, you create an exponential income, which means unlimited, and it's also passive. Now, I don't expect you to understand all of this. Sometimes I feel like Jackie Chan in Rush Hour. Do you understand the words coming out of my mouth? So, if you had to pick, now I met Megan a couple of hours back over supper. So Megan, if you had to pick between linear or exponential, limited or unlimited, active or passive, A or B? B. Yeah, you can stay for the rest of the class. Okay, fine. We'd all pick B. It's like, well, Farley, of course, we'd rather have this over here. Well, I'll just simply say, if you don't get anything else out of tonight's presentation, read the book. because that book could be the start of a journey that could literally change your life. Kind of a follow-up book, and a book that we highly recommend everybody read and reread and reread, because it really does talk about the business of the 21st century, which is really network marketing. Network marketing, sort of a combination of social media and e-commerce. And so I would simply say those two books would be a great place to start. And I'm going to give you 3 more just while we're giving books here. Because if you read 5 books on any subject, if you read 5 books on gardening, you'll be an expert in gardening. 5 books on croquet. Croquet? What is croquet? Crochet. Crochet. Dane Bramage. 5 books on crocheting. I don't know what crocheting is, but anyway, 5 books on cooking, 5 books on gardening, 5 books on anything. You'll be somewhat of an expert. 5 books on success. So The Magic of Thinking Big. That's the first book I ever read without pictures. A book called Think and Grow Rich. This is a classic written back in the 20s that helped America come out of the Great Depression. This is a game changer. If you'll read this book and honestly study this book and apply the principles in this book, it'll transform your life. It'll revolutionize your life, because you'll think different. Notice the think and grow rich. It's not be cool and grow rich. It's not, it's think and grow rich. And then the last book I'd recommend everybody to read, How to Win Friends and Influence People. We're going to actually talk a little bit more about this tonight. This is 2 different skill sets. Winning friends is relational. Influencing people is transactional. And to have a really cool, solid, long-term business, you need to have friends, relational, and influence people, transactional. There's a balance between relations and transactions. And we'll talk more about that during the training. Okay, so my point of saying all that is the financial vehicle you pick. Let's say network marketing. Network marketing is the financial vehicle that we've chosen. But nobody starts as a 10. Nobody starts with a work ethic and a skill set as a 10. We all start as amateurs. Here's how you can tell if you're an amateur or not. You need a lot of luck. Amateurs rely on luck. How do I know I'm an amateur golfer? I need lots of luck. This is a slice. This is a hook. And straight is a miracle. It's a miracle. So amateurs rely on luck. Professionals rely on skills. So if you're hoping your business will work, if you're hoping your life is going to change, you're hoping to get better at something, hope is a great part of your theology. Hope is an emotion. Hope is a great part of your theology. Hope's a great emotion. Hope's not a strategy. How many understand hope is not a strategy? It's good to hope. That's not a strategy. Hope doesn't tell you where to put your time, where to put your energy. So how do you get from amateur, relying on luck, to professionals? And by the way, amateurs don't normally get paid. Amateurs don't normally get paid. Professionals get paid. Professionals have skills. The difference between amateurs and professionals is a coach or a mentor. And if there's one thing that I know absolutely for sure, the coaches that you listen to, the mentors that you listen to, are going to have the biggest impact in your life. If you don't have a coach, that's a problem. That means you're taking your own advice. Scripture I read says a fool's advice sounds really good to the fool. Okay, I'm not calling you a fool. Blame God. Okay, but if you're taking your own advice, Your own advice has got you where you're at. Now, some of you are doing okay, but is that the goal, to do okay? Hopefully not. So what we provide through a company called BWW, which you'll see a video here in a little bit, we provide a coaching mentorship program. BWW stands for Brit Worldwide. A man named Bill Britt started in 1971. I was honored to be mentored by him for about 35 years before he passed away. So BWW, Brit Worldwide, provides the mentorship, the coaching, the support. This meeting is part of that support system. There's about 500 of these meetings going on around the country, all over the country, other countries. This is actually being streamed to some other countries right now. There's people all over the world that are benefiting from the BWW mentorship program. As a matter of fact, how many of you have been in business with us for at least 6 months, and you can honestly say that your life is better, your job is better, your marriage is better, you're a better human being, you got a better attitude? You can honestly say after 3 to 6 months of being involved in business with us, coming out here on Tuesday nights or Thursday nights or whatever night it is, you can honestly say after 3 to 6 months of being in this association that your life is better. How many can honestly say that? Now raise your hands and let all the skeptics look around. Keep those hands up. So all the skeptics, all the critics, all the naysayers, and I know you're out there because I was out there. Some of the biggest people in our business were the biggest skeptics. Some of the biggest people in network marketing were the biggest skeptics, the biggest critics. The man who started BWW, Bill Britt, turned around twice on the way to his first presentation thinking, this is crazy, this is silly, I'm going home. So the biggest person in network marketing started out very skeptical, very negative, very critical. People who are really skeptical before they get all the facts get just as sold. They're as positive as they were negative after they get all their questions answered. So we go through a multi-step process. We're going to help you go from wherever you're at. We're going to help you learn the right work ethic, the right skill set. We go through a multi-step process for a couple of different reasons. Number one, you can't learn everything in one night. As I said earlier, if you can learn in 1 hour, 2 hours how to make $150,000 a year, why would you go to college for 4 years to make half of that? So you can't get a college degree in one night. You can't learn this in one night. You can't learn how tonight, but you can learn why. And if you know why, then you can figure out how. Let's go back to that. Financial vehicle times your work ethic times your skill set equals your lifestyle. Lifestyle is a combination of how much money you have and how much time you have. And I would even say it goes beyond that. Well, let me get a name here. Of course, I got Megan. I've already met Megan. Okay, right behind this second row, Emmanuel. Emmanuel, who's your friend here? What's your name? Andrew. Thank your mom and dad for giving you a name I can spell. Okay, Andrew. Okay, so Andrew, you're right in my good eye. Okay, so yeah, you're in a sweet spot. So Megan, just a ballpark number. How much money would you think would be a nice amount of money for you to make? Just like a yearly number, just like 50,000, 100,000, 500,000. What would be a nice yearly?
My dream number?
Yeah, a dream number. $222,000. That's pretty specific. 222,000. 222. Is that?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. I'm sure there's a story behind that. And so $222,222 per year. Fantastic. Okay. So that amount of money, and here's the most important question, Megan, and don't answer me right now, but here's the most important question. Why is that important to you? Once you know why that's important, Then you figure out how to make it happen. And one of the things I'll talk a little bit later, the thing I call do the math, because everything has a mathematical connection. If you do the math, you say, well, how am I going to make $222,000 per year? Well, you break that down per week, per month, per hour. You break it down. You figure, well, I got to make $20,000 a month, or whatever it comes out to be. You do the math. I got to make $20,000 a month. I got to make $5,000 a week. I got to make $3,000. You do the math. There's a mathematical equation to that. So, Andrew, how much money per year to be? $175,000. Okay. Okay, I'm sure there's a reason for that number. And again, Matthew, don't answer me now, but the most important question is, why is that important? Which is, what are you going to do with that? Yeah. So, how much money do you want to make? Why is that important? Second question, how much time do you want to have? And why is that important? How much time do you want to have? Free time, flexible time, time that you can do what you feel like you're created to do. So how much money? Why is that important? How much time? Why is that important? What kind of impact do you want to make while you're here? And what kind of legacy do you want to leave when you're not? One of my very dear friends just passed away today about 5 o'clock. I got the call. He was on his way over here to have supper with us. The legacy, the impact, what you do with your life, the real measure, the way I was brought up, the real measure of your life is how many other lives are better off because of your life. And if you can't say a lot of other lives are better off because of your life, you didn't live your life to the fullest. And so when you sort of reverse engineer and say, okay, at the end of my life or somewhere in the future, I want to make this kind of money. Here's what I'm going to do with it. I want to have this kind of free time. Here's what I'm going to do with that time. I want to make this kind of impact while I'm here. I want to leave this kind of legacy when I'm gone. That's what a friend of mine calls the tough questions. And what he basically said, if you ask and answer the tough questions, your life gets easier. Most of us ask and answer the easy questions, and life gets tougher. What do I like to do? What's trending? What's everybody else doing? What's cool? What's popular? I believe this is my personal. I believe we were born for a reason. I don't think God's ever been confused. He wasn't confused at creation. He wasn't confused the day you were born. He wasn't confused the day that you came here. God's never been confused, and nothing's ever occurred to him. He's never said, wow, why didn't I think of that? He's known everything from the beginning to the end. I think you're born for a reason. I think you're born for a purpose. You're born to answer a question, to solve a problem. Your part is to figure out what's the question that I'm born to answer. What's the problem I'm born to solve? You're born for a reason, born for a purpose. So, again, if your dream circle looks like this, and your income circle looks like this, your income circle has a hernia just thinking about, how am I going to do that? That's going to hurt. That's going to leave a mark. So, what is your motivation for being here tonight? Why did you decide to come out in this nice weather tonight? Which I guess it is nice for some of you. But it's 81 degrees where I live, and the sun was shining. So this isn't exactly what we call nice. Okay, now our first goal, and I say first, it's not necessarily first, but one of our main goals is to help you do better in your primary income. That may sound a little contradictory, but if you'll listen to what we teach, if you'll do what we suggest, you will do better in your primary income. Success is a matter of habits, but so is failure. Nobody really succeeds or fails. They just develop the habits that lead to success or failure. Whenever we reach our potential, we reach our preparation. You don't perform to the level of your potential, you perform to the level of your preparation. And so you develop the habits, showing up early, staying late, doing whatever it takes, and then some. You'll do better in your primary income. How many, again, can say, honestly, God's watching, you're doing better in your primary job because of what you're learning here on Tuesday nights. You're doing better, and hands up, skeptics can look around. Okay, and because if you're not listening. I mean, that's maybe not very politically correct, but it's correct. So you're going to do better in your primary income. That's the first step to your financial freedom, is do whatever you're doing to the very best of your ability. The second step is to have a second income equal or greater to your first income. So the second step is for Andrew to have a second source of income equal to his first, equal or greater, but unrelated. So it's a different skill set, it's a different industry. So God forbid something happens to your primary income, you already got that covered. Who would just like to take your primary income and just give it all to church, charity, family, give it all to help family, pay off bills, donate, do stuff? If you could just take all of your primary income and get out of debt, G-O-O-D. How many could get out of debt pretty quickly if you could just take all of your primary income and just pay it on, just let's get out of debt. Or you can be busted and disgusted. That's bad, okay? So you can be good or you can be bad, okay? I was closer to that when I started, busted and disgusted. I was watching the lifestyles of the rich and famous. I was living busted and disgusted. But you can get out of debt, a second income equal to your first income. The next step to financial freedom is to help others do the same. And in our program, you've helped 3 people to reach that second step. And you've helped 3 people develop a business that replaces their primary income. You've helped 3 people, basically 3, and you're free. Now, Megan, imagine, well, Megan, do you think there's 3 people someplace on the planet that would like to have an extra income that you could maybe help? You think there's 3 somewhere on the planet? More like 33, okay? Okay, or 222 times, or whatever. Okay, so, but just 3, Megan, there's 3 people between you, this is my opinion, 3 people between you, where you are today, and you being where you really want to be. To have the financial freedom, the economic freedom, the personal freedom, the time freedom. 3 and you're free, 6 and you're rich. Now, rich is not a word that people are very comfortable with today for some reason, but I've always wanted to be rich. Since I was 7 years old, we'd leave the country, go to town, go past these really big colonial houses, 2-story brick colonials, white columns, circular driveways, Cadillacs, motor homes, azalea bushes, rose bushes. This is the part of town where I didn't live. But we drove past that part of town, and I would say, wow, who lives there? And whoever I was with would say, I don't know, but you got to be rich to live there. So my little 7-year-old brain said, oh, I need to be rich because I want to live there. I wanted to live someplace where the houses were not on wheels. I lived in a trailer park where the houses were on wheels and the cars were on blocks. Okay? So I wanted to live someplace where you couldn't hear your neighbors fight and make up. So, because if you can hear your neighbors fight and make up, you need to get a better neighborhood. So 6 and you're rich. Now, I don't know what that really even does in your brain, but when I sat out there, Andrew, 21 years of age, broke as a joke, couldn't hardly afford to pay attention, living in a trailer hood. You know, the trailer hood was a couple of steps down from the hood. Living in the trailer hood, wife and I both working, both going to school, broke as a joke. I said, but when the person began to talk about what if you could be wealthy or rich, financially independent, what if you could, make your dreams a reality? Can't explain it. Something went off in my brain. Something went off in my psyche and my heart. And I said, that's me. The dude's talking to me. He doesn't know me from Adam, but the dude's talking to me. And I was in a class similar to this, and Bill Britt, the guy who started BWW, was talking about there's somebody in here, and your guts are churning, your brain's on fire, and you know this is you. As God is my witness, I sat there almost in tears. I said, that's me. I had no visible means of support. I had a bad attitude, low self-esteem, drinking beer, smoking dope. I had nothing going for myself except a dream. And a person who believed in me more than I believed in myself until I believed in myself more. And that's what your friends do. Your real friends. Your real friends believe in you more than you believe in yourself until you believe in yourself more. In 2.5 years, we were free. At age 24, my wife and I are both financially independent. To God be the glory. Haven't had a job for 39 years. Wake up every morning when we're rested. So now, I only say that to say if I can do that, anybody can do that. And I did that back in 1981, which was pre-internet, pre-Facebook. I had my face in a book. There was no Facebook. So the goal is, again, to help you reach your goals. You have to decide, what are your goals? Now, we got a short video to kind of wrap things up here, but here's the big picture. There's a company called BWW. It's going to provide the support and training. They've been doing this since 1971. We do it in 100 countries around the world. There's a company called Amway.com that provides all the products and the compensation. Both of these go to work for you. You don't work for me. I don't work for you. You don't work for BWW. You are an independent business owner. Next week, Andrew, when somebody tells you about your Uncle Bob who tried Amway, didn't make any money, just go, okay, make sure I never take advice from Uncle Bob. He's already told me he doesn't know anything. So my dad, I love my dad. My dad's passed away now, but my dad said, that Amway thing came through here. Like a plague or something, like a disease. Yes, that Amway thing came through here. He said, your Uncle Wayne lost his shirt in that Amway thing. I'm thinking, Uncle Wayne. Uncle Wayne was the town drunk. He lost his car one time. Shirt's no big deal. Okay, check mark. Never get advice from Uncle Wayne. When your friends tell you that they've tried something, it didn't work, just check mark. Okay, can't get advice from them. If you'll listen, we teach you 9 steps. It's so simple, a caveman or a politician could do it. Hard to tell them apart sometimes. But, and by the way, when I do die, I'm going to have 6 politicians to carry my casket. I've already decided. When I die, I'm going to have 6 politicians carry my casket so they can let me down one more time. So okay. All right, so, yeah. I'm obviously not running for office or anything here. Okay. Here's these 9 fundamentals. They're so simple, so basic. But it's going to take you some effort. Let's just say, for example, you put 10 hours per week into your business. Now, it's my buddy Brian here. I've known him for 30 plus years, one of my best friends on the planet. Brian decides every week what he's going to do for his business. I don't decide that. Nobody else decides that. Brian decides that because it's his business. Let's just say, for example, you say, I'm going to put 10 hours per week into my Amway business. That 10 hours has got to come from somewhere. For most of us, it comes from television, or for me, drinking, smoking, partying, clubbing, softball, racing motorcycles, getting in trouble, trying to get out of trouble, just stuff, okay? So let's say you put 10 hours a week into your business, and you do that for 50 weeks, so that's 500 hours per year. And let's just say, Megan, it takes you 10 years to get to a place where you're free. So that means you put 5,000 hours into getting free. Okay? Now, the alternative, you work 40 hours a week for 50 weeks. That means you work 2,000 hours a year, on average, about 40 years. So that's 80,000 hours to die broke. J-O-B, job, jump out of bed, journey of the bewildered, just over broke, jackass of the boss, okay? So 80,000 hours to die broke, 5,000 hours to get free. Let me think. What if you put 5,000 hours into your business and it just saved you 20,000 hours of jumping out of bed, journey to the bewildered, just over? What if 5,000 hours here saved you, for my wife and I, it saved us almost 40 years. I retired at 24. Most people start working about age 25. So I don't know what your if you could put in 5,000 and save 20,000, save 80, 60,000, save 40,000, it would be a pretty sweet deal. Here's another way to look at that. Most of us believe you got to trade hours to get dollars. What if you could trade hours and get hours plus dollars back? Tell me more. What if every hour you put into your business brought you back 5 hours to put into your passion, your hobby, your purpose? What if every dollar you put into your business brought you back $5? I mean, that'd be a pretty sweet deal. So the big picture, assuming, I was saying earlier, we use a multi-step process to make sure we answer your questions, make sure that we're a good fit for each other so we don't waste each other's time, and most of all, to prepare you for business ownership. Most people are not emotionally or intellectually prepared for business ownership. You can tell if you're prepared for success by how you handle failure. If failure discourages you, you're not emotionally and intellectually prepared for success. Failure should not discourage you, it should determine you. When you lose, you shouldn't get distracted, you should get focused. I said earlier tonight, I read this someplace, it's better to have a season 0 and 20, which is what I read, but it came out 22. Better to have a season of 0 and 20, which means you lost, it means you won 0, you lost. It's better to finish 0-20 than to finish 0-0. It's better to try and lose than not try at all. Winners don't fear failure, they fear not failing enough to know how to win. Winners don't mind losing because they learn from losing, they just don't quit. So if you're willing to listen, if you're willing to be a good student, if you're willing to become part of the system, we're going to teach you to take about 10 to 12 hours a week for about the next 12 to 18 months and reach the level we call platinum, which the video is going to explain. That's about $50,000 a year. So 12 to 18 months, $50,000 per year, and then the next 12 to 18 months help 3 people do the same. So now you've helped 3 others to make $50,000 per year. that means you make about 150, and the next 12 to 18 months help 3 more to make 50, so that means you make about 250. So somewhere in the next 36 to 54 months, the next 3 to 5 years, and Emmanuel. Did you tell me you started this back when you were like 16 or something? Okay, and you didn't really do very much at that time.
It did everything. I didn't do anything.
Oh, it did, but you did nothing. Okay, but you didn't reach this level at 16. Okay, but you learned a couple of things, and I'm guessing now you're 21 or 2, maybe. 19. Wow, 19. Wow, I have socks older than that. So 19. So 19 and 5 is 24. Do you realize, Emmanuel, by 24 years of age, you could be one of the phenomenons in America? And you're second generation. Your parents came from Russia, so you came with them. Okay. So, and that's a great success story. Imagine by age 24 that you've solved all your financial issues, you got money to give, money to save. And another just kind of a random thought here. Most people save their money in order to spend it. They save to spend. I live in Orlando. People tell me how long they saved up to come to Disney World. They save their money to spend it. Winners save their money to invest it. It's a paradigm shift. They're not saving to spend. They're saving to invest. It's a different way of looking at things. So Andrew, or Emmanuel, in the next 5 years, you help 6 people make 50,000. You make about 250. And most of this is what we call multi-generational, which means whatever Emmanuel builds in his business, whenever the time comes that you get married and you have children, everything that you've built in your business will actually go to your spouse, because she's going to outlive you, is a fact. Women just outlive us guys, okay? My wife said she's my completer. I said, that doesn't mean finish me off. But women outlive their husbands. But everything that you build is part of your family. It's going to go to your children. It's going to be multi-generational. Now, Amway's been around since 1959. Amway's already proven all of this. It's not hope, it's history. It's not hype, it's history. It's already happened. Amway is already paying bonuses into the 3rd and 4th generations, where grandpa left it to their kids, who now left it to their kids. This isn't just something we hope might happen. This is all history. Okay, well, I've told you a lot, and I actually wanted to make sure and tell you a lot, so I actually made notes. Now would be a good time to look at them. So, didn't cover any of that yet. Okay, so, a couple of last thoughts. Video's ready to run anytime here. It's just about 4 minutes of the video. We have 2 4-minute videos and we're done. An explanation that I heard, which made a lot of sense, is who knows how Uber works? Well, is anybody who doesn't know about Uber? Okay, here's Uber. Uber, basically, somebody needs a ride. Somebody has a car. So Uber puts those two together. If you need a ride, and the Uber driver has a car, you know what I'm saying? So Uber is a platform. Uber is an app, a network. So Uber puts somebody who has a need together with somebody who can fulfill that need. And of course, they share the revenue. Airbnb. If you want to rent a house, rent a room, rent a garage, rent a couch. My son rented a guy's couch in Hawaii one day for 8 hours. He wanted to have a place to take a nap for 8 hours. So Airbnb, if you have a room, you have a couch, you have a house, somebody needs a house, needs a room, Airbnb puts those two together. Somebody needs something, somebody has it, Airbnb puts those two together, shares the revenue. Network marketing, Amway especially, somebody needs a product. We have some of the best products on the market. You have that product. Network marketing just puts those two together. If you have something somebody else needs and they're willing to pay for it, then you need a platform to put those two together. That's what network marketing really is. And last thing is, you don't really need a crystal ball to see your future. You don't need a psychic. You just need to look at your boss. Is this true? You don't need a psychic or a crystal ball or 1-800 Carmel or whatever her name is. I'm old school. I used to watch psychics on television. I never called one, but I was tempted. So because I thought I'm going to call them and ask them, guess who this is? So now, of course, with caller ID, they'd know it. I'd go, oh my God. So, but you don't really need a psychic or a crystal ball to see your future. Just go to work tomorrow. Look at the person doing your job 5, 10, 15 years longer and say, that's me. Now, in the military, I could do that very easily, because I could look at people in the military who'd been in my position, 2 years, that little pay chart. So I could look on the little pay chart and say, okay, that's going to be me after 20 years. Now, I'm not trying to be judgmental. If that's good for you, that's what you should do. You should just stay on that path. If that's enough for you, you should do that. And we'll be happy for you. It just wasn't enough for me and my family. Once in a while, I get a little edgy because I'm on medication. Sometimes I don't take it, like tonight. So, and people, sometimes they give me this like, well, I think I'm a little bit above that. I'm a doctor. I'm a whatever. And they give me this almost like, Amway is a little bit beneath me. And I'm thinking, really? What was beneath me was having my wife go to work for somebody else every day for the next 20 or 30 years. That was beneath me. I know how men are. I is one. Yeah. I didn't want my wife getting all dressed up, going to work with a bunch of barbarians, which is what most men are. Thank God for you women who can civilize this. What was beneath me was having to suck up to the boss when I wanted to get a day off. And I have people tell me they can't get a day off for whatever, anniversaries, birthdays, whatever important events to them. I'm thinking that's a good reason to do something else. And so I don't know exactly what you came looking for tonight. I don't know exactly what you saw tonight. There's 2 short videos. Hopefully I'll kind of wrap it up, then we'll let Ali clean up the mess. So, but thank you for your attention. God bless. Thank you so much.
Welcome. We're helping people across the country make extra income in their spare time. Our goal is to help you understand this business concept and how it can give you more control over your time and money. Many people want to start their own business, but are held back by concerns about business knowledge, lack of time, lack of capital, and risk. But with any business opportunity, you have to ask yourself, am I willing to get out of my comfort zone to create time for myself and my family? Will your current profession get you where you want to go? You may have major goals, like buying a new home or traveling the globe. Or maybe you just want some extra income to help chip away at a school loan or a credit card balance. What you may not realize is that you're already doing the things necessary to achieve your goals. You've probably shopped at Amazon and met new friends on a social network like Facebook. These everyday things actually give you a lot of leverage in today's marketplace. We're going to show you how to create an online business network, which combines the powerful connections within your social network with a powerful supply and compensation network. These are just some of the many merchant partners and exclusive products we are in business with. But how do we have access to such big corporations? Amway.com is how we access these great products and services, and who pays us for product flow. It was founded more than 50 years ago and is now in 100 countries around the world with billions in sales annually. Amway has paid business owners over $50 billion in bonuses and incentives since 1959. Our exclusive products are world leaders. Nutrilite is the world's #1 selling vitamins and dietary supplements brand. Artistry is among the world's top 5 largest selling premium skincare brands. And Excess Energy Drink is the first brand to offer a zero sugar, low carb, 8-calorie energy drink in a variety of flavors and sizes. Some people are interested in starting their own business, while others want to shop from the network of companies as customers. Customers get the same convenient access to great products and services at the same retail price they are used to paying. To get started, you'll first simply change your buying habits and begin purchasing through your own business. And as you get to know and enjoy your products, you'll naturally share that with others and create some retail volume. Each product has a point value, and if you generate about 100 points a month through your purchases and client volume, you could earn about $1,000 a year. As you register others, and they in turn create client volume, your business will naturally continue to grow. Register 6 people, and each of you does about 100 points, your income can jump to more than $2,500 a year. As you and your team grow to 30 or 35 people, with bonuses and client volume, you could earn nearly $15,000 a year. That's an extra $1,000 you can apply towards your mortgage every month. When your team grows to about 75 people, and each of you continues to do about 100 points and create client volume, you could make nearly $40,000 a year. That's a great secondary income, and it can really add up. While many continue to build their business part-time, some have been able to create significant full-time businesses, enough to replace even a professional income. Leading business owners earn annual incentive trips to Peter Island, Hawaii, Las Vegas, and other destinations around the globe. Business owners have access not only to Amway's world-class products and services, but also to the training and support of Brit Worldwide. Since 1971, BWW has provided cutting-edge technology with smartphone apps, streaming video and audio, in addition to local and regional business seminars and a host of other business training materials. Amway and BWW are both committed to your success. Set up a meeting with the person who shared this with you to get your questions answered and get started.
What defines a company?
What is our most
Is it the
precious
name on the
resource? An energy so
Is it the
big
products?
it can transform the world around
Is it the
us.
manufacturing or buildings? Is a company defined
At
by its
Amway,
legacy or
We
leaders?
believe it's people.
Or is it all of this?
People and the
something more?
potential they have within them. To rise up, to stand out from the crowd, to build better lives
What
for
gives a
themselves
company
and for their
its
families.
purpose?
This potential is a positive force within all of us.
It started
And
more
when
than
it's
50 years
inspired,
ago.
it can't be
Friends from a
contained by
young age,
race or
Jay
class
Vandal
or
and Rich
creed
DeVos
or
were
anything else.
What defines a company? Is it the name on the wall? Is it the products? Is it the manufacturing or buildings? Is a company defined by its legacy or leaders? Or is it all of this and something more? What gives a company its purpose? It started more than 50 years ago. Friends from a young age, Jay Van Andel and Rich DeVos were alike in many ways. Smart, driven, optimistic about their future, and passionate about the world around them. They believed in people. They believed in helping people live better lives by helping them realize their potential. And so they created Amway, a company that offered all people, regardless of age, education, ethnicity, religion, or background, a chance to be in business for themselves, but not by themselves. Today, more than 3 million people in more than 100 countries and territories, speaking more than 60 languages, control their own Amway businesses. They work hard to achieve success as they define, like more control of their time, more financial security, and a better quality of life for them and their community. Amway supports them with a proven plan that has no limit on what you could earn. Earn a little extra or a little more. It's up to you. We provide free training and an experienced mentor who helps them every step of the way. Amway business owners are the exclusive point of access to more than 450 world-class products in the categories of nutrition, beauty, and home, all 100% satisfaction guaranteed. For nutrition, we offer Nutrilite, the world's #1 selling vitamins and dietary supplements brand. Since its inception in 1934, the Nutrilite brand has provided plant-based supplements, many with ingredients grown in our own certified organic farms with naturally occurring phytonutrients. It's a brand committed to inspiring people to strive towards their optimal health. Amway's leading beauty brand, Artistry, is among the world's top 5 largest selling premium skincare brands. Artistry products unlock the potential for women to look their best, feel their best, and achieve more with their newfound confidence. Amway's premier home technology brand, eSpring, is the world's #1 selling brand of home water treatment systems that gives people pride and confidence in the quality of water that flows into their home. Complemented by Atmosphere, the world's #1 selling brand of home air treatment systems. Our world-class brands come from a culture of scientific excellence. We have more than 1,000 patents and 700 patents pending. Our more than 900 scientists, engineers, and technical professionals are researching and developing new and innovative exclusive products for our Amway business owners to sell. Amway also continues to invest in global manufacturing facilities and distribution centers to produce and deliver these leading brands and products. And worldwide, we have more than 600 Amway locations that support our Amway business owners. And while we've grown into an $11 billion global company, our family-owned roots hold true to where it all began, with people. From a small town in Michigan to living rooms and coffee shops around the world, is a continued belief in and support for those looking for a little extra, for more in life, for what matters to them. It's an understanding that a business can do more than offer great brands and products. It can believe in people. This is what gives our company its purpose. Because we believe that everyone, everywhere, is filled with potential.
Thank you. Give one more. Really appreciate it, man. I have been around the business for a little while, and I've taken 2-page notes worth of notes tonight from Rick, and I see him a lot, and I've had a chance to know him a lot. And imagine for those of you who have not had a chance to see him or hear from him, what you just saw tonight was a premier business opportunity, and I don't believe that anyone right now is sitting here tonight thinking about, wow, is this legit? Is this real? This is an amazing company that's making impacts around the globe. So, for those of you who are here for the first time, I want to ask those of you who are in the business who already receive a bonus check from this company, please raise your hand, look at them. I don't think so there's any reason for you to be discriminated because you're new. If anybody came here and received a bonus check, you will receive a bonus check. I mean, you may say how much, it's up to you. Am I right? So if you've reached at the 25% level one time, which is a business volume worth of $25,000 in 1 month, which is about, if you add it up, 12 months, you do the numbers. If you reach at silver level 1 month, please stand up. People who have built that level. Thank you very much. Thank you. And if you maintain that level for platinum, come in here and say your name and what city you live and what you do for a living, just these three. Name, city, and your profession. So we just need to know who does it.
Thank you, Yusuf. Good evening, folks. My name is Tahir Raza. My wife Samana. We have 2 years, 2 boys, and background IT, and we live in Apple Valley.
My name is Abdul Qadir Usman, South Minneapolis. Sell at the daytime. If I do it, you can do it.
We're Jason and Jennifer Simmons. My background was office management, but because of this business, it's given us an opportunity for me to leave that and do things that I'm more inspired to do, like this business.
And I have a background in banking and IT.
And I'm Jamal Hussain. I work as a business analyst.
Hi guys, my name is Amran. By profession, I'm a nurse and we live in Minnetonka.
Hi guys, I'm Hawa. I live in Eden Prairie and I have a background in the healthcare industry.
Hey guys, my name is Ayan. I live in New Brighton, Minnesota. During the day, I do a sales and marketing. I work.
Hi team, my name is Ma'u, my wife Ilham, and my background is medical lab technician.
By education, I have a child psychology degree. We're both self-employed and live in Burnsville, Minnesota. Come join us.
Hi, we are Eric and Asman. By background, I'm a registered nurse.
Yeah, Shagnur, I'm Shagnur Shisrum. Before I didn't say I want to welcome my heart.
Thank you. We are Shagnur and Ron. We live in South Minneapolis. Daytime I do as a nurse.
My background pharmacy, but my certificate have a question.
Hey, you guys. My name's Stephen Moore. I live in Fridley, work in sales, and welcome to the team.
Hello, everyone. We are Aslam and Arfi. I hope you really qualify.
We live in Plymouth. I'm a software engineer by profession. Come join us.
Hi everybody, we are Mandala and Nina. By background into IT consulting, mechanical engineer.
We live in Shoreview and my background is electrical engineer, but I'm full-time business owner.
My name is Farhan Yusuf Daytime. I'm self-employed. Professionally, I don't have no degrees. It's not required. If you have one, it's not a disease, but dreaming is make the difference.
So my wife's here, another platinum lady. So the reason why you see a lot of ladies that look like her is because I said yes to the business. People come to me and says, how come you got people from your community? And I said, are you interested? He says, no, I have no time. Then you deny your community too then. Am I right? What if I say I'm not interested? These people you see would have not been in the business. Am I right? So she said I'm interested.
Hello. We are Ala Al-Maka. My background is free until now. We're so excited. Here, my husband.
And we want to thank this gentleman. We want to thank this gentleman because when we started the business, he was the third speaker, Diamond, that Ken Miller, gentleman who was here in this town that I went to his meeting, invited, and we met him and he said, you guys can do it. Welcome to the team. How come he said to me, you could do it and we believe it, and he says to other people, you can do it and they don't believe it? You guys understand that? The reason why You know, I used to, every time today, I'm all over the country, I'm moving all over America. I ask people, anytime I see today somebody broke, Rick, anytime I see somebody has problems and challenges in life, I ask them one question. In your lifetime, have you ever seen or heard or somebody show you something called Amway? Oh, many years ago, and I realized you deserve it. Stay broke. I'm not kidding you. I used to think, oh my God, God, it's not fair. I realized if you see somebody that live in America all their life or move to America, somehow, somewhere, a lot of us are always at the malls and places telling people, hey, I can be your friend. You can do it. I met a stranger from Israel, and my wife and I came from Africa. We had nothing in common, and he said, how you doing? This is my business card. I said, what do you do? He says, what I do in the daytime took me many, many years of degrees, but what I do at night, I can help you. And I started believing him. And he came, and my wife said, let me tell you something. The true story is when he come to pick me up for the meeting, my wife said, don't let him in. I'm not kidding you. Ask her. We did not let, she says, don't bring him in my house. I just said, wait for me outside, get in the car. He took me to a meeting, and he came back, and he says, you guys are ready? I'm ready. She says, I'm not giving my social security. This guy you met in a bookstore. Today, he's my best friend. Today, if something happens to us, he's the one who has my will. Not my cousins, not my friends, not her sisters. That's what we are always in the malls offering people. And you know what they say? They come to a meeting, they go home, and they don't answer our phone, and they block. And then they come on television saying, you know how broke I am, and America has got a problem. No, you got a problem. So we're going to take, please. I say that out of love because I know when my wife and I came here, we didn't pay our bills. We were on welfare. We were struggling. We were in Section 42 or Section whatever sections the government are. And this man came and he says, you don't have to be in that. Trust me. I'm the American that you need to trust. Do you understand that? So you're here tonight. 10 years from now, he'll be back. People in this business don't die. We live long. He will be back. Am I right? So we are taking, those of us in the business want to hear his training. For those of you who are a guest, we will give you 5-10 minutes with him. Please, if you're not new, let the new people meet him and shake hands before they go home. So Rick Fairchild will be at the back, and we'll be back exactly in 10 minutes. Thank you very much.